Margaret had just celebrated her 60th birthday, and as she looked at herself in the mirror that morning, she realized that life beyond 60 was not about slowing down entirely, but about making conscious choices that protected her health, energy, and happiness. She had seen friends and relatives struggle with preventable ailments and unnecessary stress, and she decided she would approach this next chapter differently. Through research, advice from her doctor, and conversations with peers who were thriving, she compiled a mental checklist of things to avoid after turning 60, 8 essential habits that could make a real difference. The first thing Margaret vowed to avoid was sedentary behavior. She had always enjoyed reading and knitting, but she realized that sitting for long periods was slowly eroding her strength and mobility. She replaced long hours on the couch with walks around the neighborhood and gentle stretching in the morning and light resistance exercises. Even simple activities like gardening or carrying groceries became opportunities to stay active. She knew that staying physically engaged not only preserved her muscles and bones, but also helped maintain circulation, flexibility, and energy levels essential for longevity. The second thing to avoid was ignoring nutrition. Margaret had always enjoyed rich, flavorful foods, but she knew her metabolism and digestive system had changed. She decided to limit processed foods, excess sugar, and overly salty snacks. Instead, she focused on balanced meals rich in vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. Drinking enough water became a priority too, as dehydration often sneaks up unnoticed. She discovered that proper nutrition not only supported her physical health, but also her mental clarity, mood, and overall vitality. Third, she avoided neglecting regular medical checkups. Margaret understood that preventive care was key after 60. She scheduled annual physicals, dental visits, eye exams, and screenings appropriate for her age. When she noticed minor issues like fatigue or joint pain, she addressed them promptly rather than ignoring them, understanding that small problems could escalate into serious complications if left unchecked. Fourth, Margaret recognized the danger of ignoring mental stimulation. Retirement and fewer daily responsibilities could easily lead to cognitive stagnation. To keep her mind sharp, she started reading challenging books, learning new skills, and engaging in puzzles and memory games. She joined a local history club and even took a painting class, realizing that novel experiences kept her brain flexible and reduced the risk of memory decline. The fifth thing she avoided was social isolation. Margaret had observed friends who gradually withdrew from family and community after turning 60, and the toll it took on their mental and emotional health was alarming. She maintained close relationships with her children and grandchildren, met friends for coffee regularly, and volunteered at the community center. Staying socially active helped her feel connected, purposeful, and emotionally balanced. Sixth, she steered clear of overexertion. While staying active was important, Margaret knew that pushing herself too hard could lead to injuries, exhaustion, and setbacks. She learned to pace herself, listen to her body, and take breaks when necessary. Light, consistent exercise combined with sufficient rest proved more effective than sporadic, intense activity. Seventh, Margaret avoided neglecting emotional well-being. She recognized that stress, anxiety, and unresolved emotional issues could exacerbate physical health problems. She practiced mindfulness, meditated, and occasionally sought counseling when overwhelmed by life changes. Keeping a gratitude journal and focusing on positive experiences helped her maintain emotional resilience and a sense of purpose. Finally, she avoided resisting change. Life after 60 inevitably brings changes: children moving away, retirement, loss of peers, or new health challenges. Margaret embraced flexibility and adaptability. She learned to use technology for communication, adjusted her routines as needed, and welcomed new hobbies and opportunities. Accepting change rather than resisting it allowed her to stay engaged and joyful rather than frustrated or stuck. Over time, These 8 habits, or rather the conscious avoidance of harmful patterns, transformed Margaret's daily life. She felt stronger, sharper, and more energized than she had in years. Friends often asked her secret, expecting some miracle regimen or magic supplement, but she would simply smile and explain that it was about making deliberate choices. Move your body, nourish it properly, see your doctor, challenge your mind, connect with others, pace yourself, care for your emotions, and embrace change. Margaret's example inspired those around her. Her peers began walking with her in the mornings, attending classes, and reaching out to reconnect with family. She realized that turning 60 was not a limitation. It was an opportunity to live more intentionally, protect her health, and cultivate a rich, balanced life. By consciously avoiding these 8 detrimental habits, Margaret had not only extended her vitality, but had also enhanced the quality of her days, proving that age is less a barrier than a guidepost for wiser living.